Hey, this is Chloe, and today I'm going to talk to you about William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet and some of the main themes that are presented within the play. One of the main themes, obviously, would be love. I mean, it is one of the most tragic love stories in history. One of the ways that love presents itself within this play is the multiple different relationships that are formed. You have Romeo, who originally is completely infatuated with the lovely Rosaline, who goes to the party to find her, but finds Juliet instead and falls madly in love with her, love at first sight. And the two lovers come from warring families, but their love overcomes this family's hatred. They secretly marry, and they also, even though there's so much tragedy within the play, they still consummate their marriage and still plan to escape together and still be together. Many people question whether or not their love was love or lust. I mean, obviously, the entire play takes over the time of maybe a few days, but many also say that perhaps their love does start out as infatuation, but leads into something deeper. And also, some even think that this is a cautionary tale of young love and its consequences, maybe by saying, if you fall in love too fast and too quickly, it's so young, you're bound to wind up heartbroken or something bad's going to happen. Another big theme within the play would be hatred. Hate obviously drives the play almost as much as love, because even though they're exact opposites, you have the Montagues and the Capulets who absolutely hate each other. And because of their hatred, these two lovers that only want to be together can't be together. You have families warring in the streets every day, which brings Romeo to his tragic fight scene where he witnesses his best friend die and then, in an attempt to avenge him, kills Juliet's cousin. And hatred also basically propels the lovers towards their tragic death. And when the parents discover Romeo and Juliet dead within each other's arms, they finally realize what their hatred has done, and that it hasn't just affected them, it basically brought the death of their children. This leads us to our next theme, is mortality. Obviously, mortality plays a very big role as well, because you have the constant reminder that these two lovers will die at the end. It prepares you for that from the very beginning. And then you have what tailspins it into action with Mercutio's death, which leads to Romeo killing Tybalt, which ultimately forces the mortality of Romeo and Juliet to lessen and ultimately diminish when they finally decide to kill themselves in order to be together. And another thing is gender. You see throughout the entire play that gender does play a role. You have the more masculine men that are constantly battling in the streets and constantly at war with each other and constantly fighting. But then you have the women like Juliet, who are expected to marry and bear children and basically obey their parents' wishes, which is what Juliet practically does throughout most of the play until she meets Romeo. The last, but probably most important theme within the play would be fate and free will. Obviously, lots of things happen that you wouldn't expect to happen within this play. You have the lovers that suddenly meet when Romeo just goes to see Rosaline, and then you have the secret marriage followed by the tragic death of Mercutio and Tybalt. You have Juliet and Romeo's honeymoon night followed by Juliet feigning her own death in order to escape. And you have the messenger that sees Juliet in her feigned state that goes to tell Romeo that she actually died, thereby causing him to kill himself, her wake up and kill herself. Everything happens as if it's by fate. Nothing is necessarily determined, and everything just seems to happen and is working against these two lovers that only want to be together. And those are the main themes of Romeo and Juliet, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and have a great day.